God bless you. God bless everyone. I hope everyone having a good day. God bless you. God bless everyone. Um, what I'm gonna be talking about how our everybody. I'm gonna be talking about like how others they blame God for their mistakes. They blame God for what they did. God, He did not do anything. Well, guess what? God, He did not do anything to us at all. Mm-mm. God, He did not. He did not. He did. He did. He did not try to like make life even harder and harder. No, He did not do that. He did not make life harder for us. No. Mm-mm. God, He did not do that. God, he all God wanted to do is just be our friends, and in other words, be have a relationship with us. But some of us, we're stiff necks. We don't want to be. We don't want to have a relationship with Him. We chose to do our own things, and when something happens to us, we blame Him. Like let's say for example, like what can I say? Like say if you are like praising Him, you praising the Lord, and then after that, then boom, something else happened. Something happened to you, and then you say, God, this not supposed to happen, or some sickness drops on you, and then you blame the Lord because you blame Jesus, you blame God for that sickness. You blaming God because you sick. Some people blame God because they sick. They get sick. No, it's not God that made us get sick. It's the devil that did that. So the theme is do not blame God. Do not blame God. Do not blame God. The person that you should be blaming is the devil. Because the devil, he is behind all this. He is the one that is making life harder and harder for us. Back then, like in Adam and Eve, now that story, like Adam and Eve, they had it good in the garden. God made it good for them in the garden. Like you see, like what is happening today, like like they have problems, accidents and stuff like that. They didn't have that stuff back then. They didn't have that stuff back when Adam and Eve was in the garden. They was living it in perfect life. They was living perfectly in the garden. I mean, like they was living perfectly in the garden, and then after that, then along came the devil. Along came the devil. He's the one who came and he made Adam and Eve. He took the he made it miserable for them now. And there's another guy, that's name is Job. He also made Job in the Bible. He had it great. He had it good. Let's go to Job chapter 1 verse 6 and see what it says. See, that's the first attack of Satan. Satan first attacked. His first attack. Chapter 6. It says, one day the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with him. See? By those people that he's by those people, that's the angels that came and present themselves to the Lord. So Satan, he tag along too. He tag along too. And see what it says in verse 7. Where have you came from? See, that was God who said to Satan, where have you came from? And he said, Satan said the Lord to Satan. And then Satan said, from roaming through the earth, he replied, and walking back and forth in it. See? He was walking. See, Satan, God asked Satan, where have you been? Where have you came from? So Satan said to him that he has been roaming the earth, walking through and through the earth, roaming the earth. In other words, he was roaming the earth. Satan, he was roaming the earth. That's why you that is serving the Lord has to be careful. You have to be careful. When you're serving the Lord, you have to be careful because Satan, he is all around. That is for people that's saying that, oh, Satan, he's not around here. He's in hell. No, Satan is not in hell. He's not in hell. He's not in hell yet. Satan, he's not in hell yet. Satan, he still is roaming around on earth. He is still walking around. The Bible said that he is walking around trying to find people to devour. He's walking around like a lion trying to find a person to seeking people to devour. And then it also says again, it says from roaming, okay. In verse 8, and then he said, then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? For there is no one on earth like him, a man who is blameless and upright, who fears God and shuns evil. See? God, he's talking about Job now. He's telling Job about he's telling Job, his servant, he's to the devil. Because when you are with Christ and you are doing his will, Christ's will, he will brag about you to the devil. He will tell the devil about you. He'll say, "Oh, look at my etc., etc., etc. Look at my person. Look at my child, how my child, he fears me. He's walking, he's walking in the path that he's walking in the pleasing path that I am pleased with. So I am pleased with I am pleased with that person. I am pleased with him or her. And it says here again in verse 10, have you not placed a hidden on every side around him and his household and all that he owns? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. See? And it also says in verse 11, but stretch out your hand and strike all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. You see? God, see, Job, he was working for God. See, Job, he was working for God. In other words, he was walking righteously for God. He was doing righteously for God. When you walking, he was walking righteously for God. So God, he blessed them with more stuff. It's just like you and I. If you are walking right with God and you shun sin, in other words, for others that doesn't know what shun is, shun means that if you fear God, which means that you shun sin, that means that you reject sin. You reject the sin. Then God, he will bless, and you reject the sin and walk straight with God in his pleasing eyes, then then God, he will bless you. He will bless you. He will bless you. He will bless you with good health. He will bless you with whatever else you need. He will bless you. So it's just like this, just like Job. He was walking with God, walking straight with God and shunning sin, rejecting sin. And then he was walking so pleasantly with God. He's so pleased in God's eyes that God, he blessed him with so many more stuff. He blessed Job with many more health. And not only health, he blessed him with his house. He made his house he blessed him with a house. He blessed Job. In other words, that he made Job rich. Do you know that God can make you rich? If he made God, he made Job rich with all those stuff, with everything, with a lot of things. And then here comes the devil. The devil, here's what he thinks. He thinks that the reason why Job is giving God's worship, the reason why that Job is worshiping God, he's worshiping God, is because of the things that God gave him. See, the devil right here, he thinks that like the reason why that Job is worshiping God is because that God, he gave Job, he blessed Job with a whole bunch of stuff. He blessed Job with good health. He blessed Job with a family. He blessed him with a house. He blessed him with a whole bunch of things. That's why that the Satan, he thinks that that's why that Satan, he thinks that that's why when God gave Job all those stuff that he's worshiping him. So, in other words, and also he said that stretch. So he says, stretch all that he has. Strike, but stretch out your hand and strike all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. See, that is devil that is saying that. Devil, that is Satan that is saying that. That is Satan that's saying that. He says that the reason why that Job is worshiping you is because that you gave him all these good stuff and good health. But if you take all of those things from Job, his health, all those things from Job, he will curse you to your face, God. He told Satan, saying to God, if you take all those things from Job, he will surely curse you to your face. He will curse you to your face. He won't, in other words, he won't worship you anymore if you take those things from him. That's Satan that's thinking. And in verse 12, it says here, very well, said the Lord to Satan. See, everything he has is in your hands, but you must not lay a hand on the man, on man himself. Now, he said, now God gave the devil permission now to go and attack Job. Attack Job's stuff. I'm sorry. Attack Job's stuff now. So the devil now he gave him permission to go and attack all his stuff. And the reason why that God he allowed that Satan to go and attack the Job stuff is because that he's putting Job to a test. I mean, he is showing he's gonna show the devil that even if all Job's stuff is taken away, Job he will continue serving the Lord. Just like us today. Say if we have a problem, if we have a problem, a health problem, or anything how can I say anything, a health problem and or materialistic things that is broken, we should not be going like, oh, it's because of God's fault, it's because of God, so I'm not going to worship you anymore because you did that, God. No, it's not God. It's really the devil. It's really him. He is doing that. So the devil, he went away from God, and then he came and then he attacked Job's stuff. The first thing that he attacked is Job's sons. When Job's sons, they was having a party, right? They was having a party. Yes, they was having a party. And then after that, then the devil he came and he struck the sons. He struck them. In other words, that he killed them. He killed the sons. of Job. Once he killed the sons of Job, the Bible says that there was one maid, butler, I'm sorry. There was one butler that survived and went to Job and explained all that to Job and told Job that. And told Job that told Job what happened. So when Job he heard that, Job when he heard what happened, Job he didn't like he didn't say like, God, since that happened, I am not going to serve you anymore. No, Job he did not say that. Let's see what Job said in the Bible. Job, he says, one day, while Job's sons and daughters, and his daughters were there too, were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. In verse 14, a messenger came and reported to Job while the oxen were plowing, and the donkeys were grazing nearby. The donkeys and the ox, they were grazing nearby. So which means that when they was grazing nearby, the house fell on them too. So they died too. So they died. They were killed. They were killed because they were killed as well in the tragedy. So all of those that Job had, which is donkeys, oxen, he had those things. He had them. They died. But when they died, but when they died, did Job blame God for it? No. He didn't blame God. What the enemy thought would happen didn't happen. Job, he was right there. He stayed right there. He stayed still right there. And then after that, then the devil is trying even more. Then he went to his wife, and then he told his wife to tell Job, and then he told Job that, why don't you just curse God and die? See what his wife told him? Because the reason why is because all of those that happened, the oxen died, the donkeys died, and all his kids, they died in the tragedy. So, which means that he is left with nothing now. Job, he is lying with nothing now. He has nothing now. So, now Job, so he is lying with nothing. And then now once he's lying with nothing, and then his wife told him to go to curse God and die. But Job, he did not curse God. He didn't. He didn't. In verse 16, while he was still speaking, another messenger came and reported the fire of God fell from heaven. It burned and consumed the sheep and the servants, and I alone have escaped to tell you. See? Now the servant, now the other servants, they died too as well. In the fire, they died as well. And then once they died, and then also the camels, and it took them away. And then the camels also, they died too. They was taken away too. And then also, once Job, he was with nothing anymore. He was with nothing now. Now he doesn't have a wife. Now his wife left him. Now his kids died. His servants died. All his wealth that he used to have, all of them are gone now. All of them are taken away from him now. But still, he stayed right there. He did not blame God for all of those that happened. He did not blame all of those that for that. What happened? He said, here's what Job said. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. You see? Now that made the devil even angrier. That made him even want to work even harder. That made the devil work even harder. The devil, see what the devil is trying. See what the devil is trying to do. The devil was trying to make God. He was trying to make Job blame God. In other words, curse God and reject him and don't worship God anymore. And to do all those, but he did all those things. He took those things away from him, so he can curse them. But guess what? Job, he did not do that. He listened. He did not do that. He stayed right there and said, "Well, in other words, that means that, well, all of these are taken away from me. I'm not gonna get." So, in other words, that means that all of these are taken away from me. I'm not gonna get angry over them. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna blame God, and I'm not gonna reject God and turn away from him, all because of all of those prized possessions I had are taken away from me. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's what he's saying right here. He says, those things, they didn't belong to me in the first place. They belong to God. Those things that I had in my possession did not belong to me in the first place. They belong to God. And also those things that God, he blessed those, blessed me with them because because I walked with him. All because I walk with him. So that's why or because I walk with him. That's why that the devil, he got angry because Job, he's wise. Not only wise, he's humble. He's humble. He's God's humble servant. See? And also, then sickness came upon Job. Sickness came upon him. a lot of sickness that came upon him. But he was sitting there. But when those sickness came upon him, did he blame God? No. Did he yell at God and curse God? No. He didn't curse God. He continued talking to God. That's what he was doing. He continued talking to God. So, and then after that, at the end, once he's done all those things, he passed the test. And after that, now God told him to stand up, and God gave him all of those things that he used to have, all of those prized possessions that he had. Now, God, for all of those things, all of these that he did, he withstand the enemy. He reject the enemy. With all of those things that he did, God, he doubled his possession. He doubled them possession. He gave him twice as much that he had. All because he served the Lord. All because he served the Lord. And not only that, he was humble to the Lord. He was humble to the Lord. And in other words, he did not blame the Lord at all. He did not blame the Lord for any tragedy that happens. He says, well, those tragedy that happens, that is not the Lord. So it's just like today, like all these tragedies that's happening in this world, don't blame the Lord. If you are worshiping the Lord, do not say, oh, I'm going to stop worshiping the Lord all because of something bad that happens to you. Because if you do that, the enemy, he will smile. He will say, see, he wasn't really worshiping you, or she wasn't really worshiping you, God. When you did something good in their when you did something good for them, when you bless them with good stuff, good possessions, then they are worshiping you. But when something bad happens, they stop worshiping you. See? They stop worshiping you. And then they start blaming you and start saying that you did this, God. You did this. And then let me tell you, if you do that, if you blame God, if you only worship God, don't do this. Don't worship God only when good things happen to you. Worship God when there is good things that happen to you or bad things that happen to you. Still worship God. Still worship him. Everything that you see in this world, that is bad, everything that you see in this world, like this world getting harder and harder, and then you see accidents that's happening and bad stuff that's happening, know that it's the devil that is doing that. And when he's doing that, and also he's doing that because he doesn't want you to worship God. He wants you to blame God instead of him. So be like Job and be humble. Worship God either through thick and thin. In other words, worship God to bad stuff happen and to good stuff happen. Continue worshiping God. No matter what happens, no matter what bad stuff that happens, continue worshiping God. So God, he can, so at the end, God can bless you. So God, he can bless you. So that's all I had today. So have a nice day. So I hope y'all have a nice day today. Have a nice day today. And God bless you.